Hi guys, I'm Kalilah Reynolds and we're back with Money Moves brought to you in partnership with Exim Bank's Business Advisory Service. This week we're talking all about brand building, how to stand out in a crowd, and I'm talking to the PR chick herself, Naomi Garrick. Hi Naomi.
Hey Kalilah.
And Naomi, you help executives and business managers with their personal brand, right?
Absolutely. So I help executives, entrepreneurs, really anyone has a personal brand. So I really help them to figure out what it is that they do best and how they can communicate it with their audience.
Okay, so tell us, how can we do that? What are the key tips that you have for us today?
Okay, so today I know we wanted to really focus on the online personal brand, and why that's so important now is because everybody has access to your brand. I saw a quote this morning that said, your personal brand is no longer what you say about yourself, it's what Google says about you.
Oh.
And when you think about that, that's the reality. Before someone actually gets to meet you, the first place they're going to search for you is on Google.
True.
And if you are not showing up online in the right way, then it's going to pull whatever information it can find. And it may be old information, information that's not relevant to who you are right now, or just things not even related to your personal brand. And so it's important for you to start creating the content that your audience needs to find you.
I Google myself all the time. I have Google alerts on myself. Anything that pops up that I don't like, delete, delete, delete.
Absolutely.
Contact the website.
For sure. And it's just so important because you just need to know what everybody else is seeing about you. Mm-hmm. And depending on what platforms you engage with or interact with the most, that's what's going to come up. So if you're always on Instagram, your Instagram profile might come up first in the top 5 search results, and maybe you don't want the world to see what you have on your Instagram page. And so it's important to start using the right platforms to showcase your online brand.
But it could be a good thing if that's what you want, if that's where you're posting the bulk of your content.
Absolutely. So it really depends on what's your purpose online. So we can start there, and I can give you some tips, or the audience some tips for how you can really start using or promoting your online brand. And so the first thing I always recommend is you have to start with why. What is the reason why you want to be online in the first place? Is it just for a place to hang out with your friends, or to post things about your lifestyle? Or are you actually going to use it to add value and show your expertise? Mm-hmm. Once you know that, then you can start thinking about, okay, what's the one thing that I actually want to be known for? Is it that I want to be known for being the best baker, or for being an artist, or for being a musician, or a creative? Whatever it is. But you need to know that one thing first, and that's what you need to start.
Just one thing.
The one thing. So I read this amazing book.
I can't be a hair expert and talking about
you can be,
but and other stuff.
You can be, but what do you want your audience to focus on?
Right.
It has to be, we're so multi-talented, so we do a lot of different things, but there must be this one thing that captures everything that you do. So for me, I've created this one-liner for myself, and it's, as I said, I'm a personal branding coach, and I help entrepreneurs and executives to stand out in a noisy world by getting clarity on their personal brand. Mm-hmm. So everything I do on my page must tie back into that one thing, whether it's the videos that I post, content that I share, the images that I use, who I engage with, it must relate back to that one thing for me and that one-liner. So I recommend to everyone to try and start thinking about what is the thing that you want to be known for, and then you start using your platforms to communicate that message. And you can do it in many different ways. But then you have to start thinking, okay, what's the best platform for me? Mm-hmm. Is it Instagram? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram Live? Is it LinkedIn? And I know we're going to go into a lot more about LinkedIn because I think it's a very underutilized platform here in Jamaica, and there are so many opportunities on that platform. But it all depends on what you want to do and who you're trying to reach. Mm-hmm. So that's where I would definitely start as it relates to, even just how do you navigate this online space.
So you have an actual worksheet that you use.
Yes.
So what's the next step after you've thought of, okay, what's my purpose? What am I doing here online? What's the next thing that I should be thinking about? Then you need
to start thinking about the kind of content that you want to share. So do you want, and I recommend 3 things. People want to know you, so they want to feel connected to you. So you have to think about, how can I start sharing with my audience so they really get a feel of who I am as an individual? And then 2, start thinking about what's the knowledge and value and expertise that you can share. And how can you start sharing that? Are you going to do videos? Are you going to give tips? Are you going to pull from someone else's information, but share it as well? Because I find that people are afraid to share their own knowledge, and so they just don't post anything. And what I do, even for my personal branding, is I will find other personal branding articles that I think are relevant to what I do, and I will share them. I'll repost them, and then I'll just add my comments and feedback. So I don't have to think about writing an article every day for LinkedIn. I can share other people's content and just add my expertise, because then it still helps to position me as a thought leader in that area.
Makes sense. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Naomi. Lots more to discuss.
Yes.
On the next episode of Money Moves, Naomi will be telling us all about utilizing LinkedIn. That's it for this edition of Money Moves with me, Kalilah Reynolds, and Business Advisory Service of Exim Bank. We'll see you next week. Check out their website, eximbankja.com.